You don't have the knowledge, you don't have the wisdom, you don't have the resources to understand that something's been put over on you. You cannot but help believe the definition of it as a free agent. But you believe yourself to be a free agent as a result of not being. That is to say, of being hopelessly unable to resist
lobbying to get what they want. Well, we know what they want. They want more for themselves. I'll tell you what they don't want. They don't want a population of citizens capable of critical thinking. They don't want well-informed, well-educated people capable of critical thinking. Not interested in that. That doesn't help them. That's against their interests. Right. They don't want people who are smart enough to sit around and
Ladies and gentlemen, stand by while we do a sound check. Testing 1, 2. Ladies and gentlemen, loud and clear. Okay. Hello, assholes. Thought you wouldn't see me here tonight, did you? Well, don't be so foolish, jackass. Nobody's afraid of you. In fact, no one gives a flying fuck what you're talking about. See, where I'm from, it's real shit. I don't do live streams half-assed. I do live streams that pack a punch. Okay. I do live streams that are PowerPoint loaded. I don't just come behind a microphone and a goddamn camera and run my leftist retarded fucking mouth like some of you Negroes and jickaboos and swarthroids do. Okay? That ain't me, boo-boo. So fuck you. Fuck me. The globalists are shaking in their boots tonight because what we have to disseminate is so powerful as always. Listen, this is the most powerful live stream going. And when you're powerful, as the great Alex Jones says, your enemies have no choice but to try to destroy you. So laugh it up, fuzzball, fur fucking ball in the chat room, okay? Because no one gives a fuck. In fact, talk all of your shit in the chat room. No one cares. Tonight, I'm laser focused on the information and only the information. Tonight, we are here to discuss two influential men, two prominent men. Perhaps the most influential men in American history, in all of American history. And everything we have today in this hour, everything, and I do mean everything, happening in this hour, well, rides on the leadership, or lack thereof, of two influential, consequential men in America. We're here to discuss, unfortunately, a feud between Donald John Trump and Elon Musk. Now, some say this feud was predicted, okay, and some say, no, it wasn't. But I say, what if it's a inside job they're doing to simply get the legacy media and the fake news talking and gum bumping to sort of jump off the porch and put their own foot in their goddamn mouths and expose themselves for what they are. And then, lo and behold, comes out of the ashes what the leftist deep state believed were the ashes. Elon and Trump, and they say, oh, we got you. This is Doge's last great curtain call, if you will, as Elon's on his way out. But tonight we have a power loaded, epic live stream for you all. So the haters among us thought, well, they believed, okay, would never happen. They said, oh, Alicia Curry's afraid. Fuck you. I'm never afraid. I come to you in the embattled Louisiana, New Orleans command center. I come to you in rare form tonight. We are going to, as we always say, venture about the stratosphere or the Internet of Things to bring to you a little tale tonight. A little tale about how if these two influential men fail at leading this nation and making America great again, at making America healthy again, but most importantly, at providing us leadership, we are doomed. We are still on the cusp of Biden's America. America is still, in this hour, burning. America is still battling in the ravages of out of control inflation. There's still an energy crisis looming, beloved American sister and brother. And now is not the time for our leaders to squabble about like ex-lovers. Now isn't the time for them to lose their shit before the dawn, before we've ventured from the wilderness, ladies and gentlemen. Now is not the time. I'm going to show you exactly what I mean here tonight. I'm going to open your eyes to a few things maybe you never knew before. But tonight, like only Alicia for America can, you will be educated. You will be amazed. And please hold. What is at stake, beloved? We face falling back into the hands of the leftist occupation that gripped this nation not too long ago. The leftist occupation were these Hollywood actresses and actors like Robert De Niro, like George Clooney and others. Just because they're fucking actors, come on the scene, say a couple of great things, and a movement is born. Or women like Beyonce, Katy Perry, Taylor Swift, to name a few. They say a couple of things, and a movement is born. But we must fight to escape the leftist, Marxist, anti-human, anti-American occupation of America. While the leftist deep states uniparty, the Democratic KKK party rules and wins every damn election. If these two prominent men do not get their shit together, and on the ashes of Maga's destruction, we will see a Democrat win election come 2028. You're looking at a picture, ladies and gentlemen, beloved patriot, of Karl Marx. We are living in Marxist, leftist, radical times now, ladies and gentlemen. California is burning. Los Angeles has fallen. Parts of Texas are fallen. And other places. There's illegal migrant, immigrant, fucking criminal riots in the streets. But where did all of this come from? Spring up from men, well, a man like Karl Marx. And in fact, I'm going to show you how he was instrumental in giving birth to many, many, many dozens of leftist Marxist bloody dictators. I'm going to show you. Not to get ahead of the horse, ladies and gentlemen. Not to put the carriage before the horse, goddamn. But I'm here to show you. And on, what is it called? Wavering fashion. Without a goddamn doubt. How the Marxist radical left's pride and joy, Black America, fell under Karl Marx's spell. Have been doing the dirty work of Karl Marx for years. Can I say one? Claudia Jones. There's a great book, ladies and gentlemen. I suggest you read it, called Left of Karl Marx. But first, again, not to put the horse behind the carriage or the carriage before the horse. We are going to start out slow. And then we're going to take you on a trip like only Alicia for America, the voice of America, can. Now. Let us discuss, please, if you will. Pretty please. Left of Karl Marx. And left of Karl Marx, Peril Boyce Davies assesses the Activism, Writing, and Legacy of Claudia Jones, 1915 to 1964. A pioneer and Afro-Caribbean radical intellectual, dedicated communist and feminist Jones is buried in London's Highgate Cemetery. And left of Karl Marx, Davies finds fitting, given how Jones expanded Marxism, Leninism to incorporate gender and race in her political critique and activism. Claudia Cumberbatch Jones was born in Trinidad. In 1924, she moved to New York, where she lived for the next 30 years. She was active in what? Wait for it, the Communist Party from her early 20s onward. A talented writer and speaker, she traveled throughout the United States, lecturing and organizing. In the early 1950s, she wrote a well known column, Half the World, for the Daily Worker. As the U.S. government intensified its efforts to prosecute communists, Jones was arrested several Excuse me, did we lose microphone? I'm not sure. We may have lost microphone there. I'm sorry about that. The point we made was to reiterate. Karl Marx was out of the 19th century, the 1800s. He predated the 20th century, where we found Claudia Jones, the Nation of Islam, and other Black movements, such as the MOVE organization, okay, and others. Why this is important is we just dodged a bullet in the election of Kamala Harris and Tim Tampon Walls. Let that sink in. Kamala Harris would have been the world's biggest feminist cabal ever, the most destructive force upon the American man ever seen. And we dodged a bullet, folks. We dodged a bullet. How did we dodge a bullet? With the election of Donald John Trump and that huge ass mandate from the American people, from the populist patriots of America. This is why these men, Elon and Trump, are so consequential. We are warming up, ladies and gentlemen. Walk with us. Some argue that Karl Marx's theories have led to oppressive regimes and widespread suffering. I second those thoughts and beliefs. Others maintain, others on the radical Marxist left, that his analyses of capitalism provided valuable insights into societal inequities and class struggle. I call bullshit. You see, because Karl Marx, born 1818, predated Adolf Hitler, born in 1889. Karl Marx was a German philosopher, economist, and sociologist who lived during the 19th century, while Hitler was a German politician and leader of the Nazi Party who came to prominence in the early 20th century. Others, such as Joseph Stalin, Mao Zedong, Kim Il sung, to name a few, all came, wait for it, after Karl Marx's teachings. But Kamala Harris's and Joe Biden's of today all came after Karl Marx. The Hillary Clintons, the Bill Clintons, the Barack Hussein bastards of the world. They all hail after Karl Marx. In fact, let's just remind you, as we said in the opener, that the communist Black movement in America began in the 1920s with a Moscow-based intern promoting it specifically in the United States and South Africa. The Communist Party USA, CPUSA, played a significant role in building this movement, particularly during the Depression years. Black workers in the Deep South were drawn to the CPUSA, who focused on concurrent issues like organizing workers, addressing Jim Crow, and challenging systemic inequalities. And so you had people such as Claudia Jones smiling up in your face, giggling and grinning. Master, can I shine your shoes? But really, with ill intent. Women like Claudia Jones destroyed Black America. I'm going to show you how. Why did Black women join the Communist Party during the Great Depression? Communists took to the streets to fight racism, poverty, and injustice. Among them were Black women. Truth be told, Black women joined a intersection or intersectional movement, the communists, for an excuse to get away from the Black man. Well, the non-providing broke bum Black man, who at the time was chasing who? White women. It's true, folks. Love it or hate it. It's all out of the communist playbook. What are we actually talking about here? We're talking about the destruction of the nuclear family. Another trial and tribulation plaguing current day America. And yet again, we need those two prominent men, Elon Musk and Donald John Trump. But they have fallen to the wayside, succumbed to some sorcery of the globalist, and now they're enemies. These prominent men are better than George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Abe Lincoln, and others who came before them. Because now, this day, this hour, brings a much greater threat. Super entitlement. And as great people, leaders once said, such as George Washington, if this nation were to fall, it would fall from within, from forces within, not without. And our own so-called people are bringing us down. The left loves to say this nation was built by immigrants. No, bitch, it was built by settlers, conquerors. They built this great nation brick by brick, not some cotton picking swarthoid. These are the fucking facts. Deal with it. And now they bring us the so-called argument, don't deport day laborers. Why, oh, they're all we've got. Well, we're all day laborers. Every American citizen. Each one of us. Do we not labor 5 days a week? Do we not go to work in this nation and pay taxes? Don't be fooled by the sleight of hand. Because the devil is a liar and a thief. We have come too far. We have built the greatest American political machine and movement in all of American history. And we have these two men to thank for that. But what breaks my heart, with the midterms around the corner, with the balance of power in the fray, is that they are now enemies. They were the ones leading us, that we depended on. They were the ones who made this election possible. But now we find them squabbling over nothing. And it's really heartbreaking. And let us continue. We are still in the fray of Joe Biden's America under siege, ladies and gentlemen. We've got California burning and LA on fire. Texas joining the destruction, the dystopia. We've got forever wars continuing from the era of Joe Biden a short 4 years ago. And the West is tired of the Ukraine Russia war amid the Israel Hamas war. We are tired of it. America is tired of inflation, the energy crisis. We are tired of it all. We are tired of China and their provocations. We are tired of the New World Order. We are tired of NATO. We're sick and goddamn tired. With the hands being a quarter to midnight on the nuclear war clock. And while all of this looms, we have these two prominent men squabbling, arguing like ex-lovers for the midterms, the balance of power around the corner. This is where our tax dollars have gone. This is where our tax dollars are going to supply Israel with nukes, Ukraine with nuclear warheads and drones, which they used to provoke Russia into their all-out assault and attack upon them. The revoking of the peace deal, the ceasefire. But these two men cannot lead this nation squabbling and fighting and bickering like women in these dark times. We are tired of the stock market falling and faltering. We are tired as American taxpayers and investors. But yet we find ourselves, after the failures of Joe Biden, Tampon, Tim Walz, and feminist Harris, we find our beloved leader, the best American president in all of U.S. history. He cannot get along with the richest man in the world, the richest man in all of America. Something is wrong with this picture. I've got to tell you something more. You may have not known. There's hypocrisy happening among the Maga party. Here we have a picture of RFK Jr., Mr. Maga himself, who said we must make America healthy again. Sitting at a table, I know it's a photo op, okay, but he's sitting at a table eating unhealthy McDonald's, eating food from the concrete jungles and deserts of America, all while preaching to us that he strives to make us healthy once again. I heard ramblings that new NIH COVID debt shots were being approved under the Trump administration for testing on Americans and the people of the world, and it troubled me. In so many ways, beloved patriot, it seems this administration has dropped the ball. They're losing focus on what matters, maybe even losing heart. And so now I can just hear the ramblings from the left, the globalist machine, come 2028, that we were all played for fools. We were lied to. On the heels of a AOC election in 2028, or maybe these guys. But either way, they're going to be saying Donald Trump fooled us all. He lied to us. He used us for votes. He didn't actually care for us. They're going to say that we betrayed the day laborers. Oh, Trump should have never called in the National Guard and 700 Marines. And hearts and minds will be swayed, America. And as Maga burns, lost the wayside, as the neocons did in the early 2000s. The Democrats will seize victory once again in 2028. We cannot let that happen. Well, the midterms around the corner. We cannot let that happen. So many say it still looks good for the conservatives. It still seems we hold the majority, and have the potential to hold on to power. We will be defending 22 of the 35 Senate seats up in 2026. We may have the political environment working against us, though, next year. How? Are you asking yourself, based on all the things I've said to you here tonight? Well, we're still favored, ladies and gentlemen, to retain the chamber. But if things don't change, if the stock market doesn't begin to soar, if food prices don't drop, if energy is not brought under control, if peace through strength does not take hold, we're doomed. Once again, America. It's bad enough that Trump told us all, he promised us on day one, he would stop Joe Biden's Ukraine-Russia war. He promised us he would stop Mr. Security Bibi Netanyahu's fucking war. He has failed to do so. He has failed to do so. And now we find him unable even to get along with the richest man in the world. And the richest man in the world, why? He can't get along with the best U.S. president of all goddamn time. What is wrong with this picture, America? Should we all stop voting simply? Should we all throw in the towel? I don't want to lose heart, but I feel as if that's where we are. We're being slow walked back into a communist USA, a socialist USA, because all the things promised to us under this great and powerful mandate called Maga, well, will seem like lies and broken promises come the midterms. Because on the ashes of these two great men's failure to get along, we will see another Democratic victory on the ashes of Maga's destruction. But we all remember the better times where they got along. What is interesting really is when you look at the unification of Elon and Trump, you find negative Maga and positive Maga, dark Maga and light Maga. A perfect unity, a perfect balance, politically speaking. They complemented one another. But why are they now fighting one another? Unable to get along. I'm so disappointed. And I hope that they can call a truce and all of this will be over one day soon. Let us turn now to some brief videos to further illustrate our point. What shocks me to my core is Elon said Trump was on the Epstein files. Listen, y'all, that's no different than you idiots in the chat room lying your asses off right now. Baseless, unproven fucking lies. To hurt someone. Simply to hurt someone. That is all. That is it. Let us roll tape.
Once a symbol of their close friendship,
everything's computer.
The red Tesla Donald Trump bought to support Elon Musk now sits idle in the White House car park. And like his billionaire ex-buddy, the president's keen to get rid of it.
Honestly, I've been so busy working on China, working on Russia, working on Iran, working on so many that I'm not thinking about Elon. I just wish him well.
Playing down their very public break-up, sparked by Musk's criticism of Trump's signature big, beautiful bill.
As two divas fighting with each other at a time when the United States and the world needs strong, smart leadership.
The president says Musk wants to talk to him, but
I'm not really interested in that.
After his extraordinary social media attack, culminating in Musk saying the president is named in the infamous Epstein files, documents related to the convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Donald Trump pushing back today, reposting a statement from Epstein's lawyer. I can say authoritatively, unequivocally and definitely that he had no information to hurt President Trump. I specifically asked him. Musk now threatening to start his own political party, one that actually represents the 80% in the middle. The president's response, that would be tough to do. The broken bromance is front page news here in the United States, but no one's really all that surprised. Americans say they saw this coming a mile off.
I think it was doomed from the beginning.
Two rich men with two big egos. They can't coexist for long.
It was bound to fall apart at one point.
Republicans are putting on a brave face.
Yeah, I believe in redemption, and I think it'll all work out.
See, we don't even need the energy crisis, okay? The high grocery prices, okay? We don't need the wars even to destroy Maga. Just those crafty, devilish, wicked words of Elon Musk. Testament to that Trump is in the Epstein files is enough. Let that sink in. Do we not know all that this man, Donald Trump, has gone through? Stormy Daniels, sexual harassment case after sexual harassment case. And little dark Maga himself, okay, who once said, doing evil while looking good has muddied the waters for us all. Why, he hasn't just hurt Donald Trump. He has hurt us all. All of us who helped to build this movement and see it through to fruition. He has threatened us all. His lousy ass X platform that censors and shadow bans people. But still, I have faith. He will come to his senses, and this will all work out. But ladies and gentlemen, unless this all works out, we're doomed as a nation. Because still we are in the the remains of Biden's Cloward and Piffin-based America, an America under siege. Let me just show you the ways. Please, ladies and gentlemen, hold for 1 minute. Hmm. Please hold. And in case you haven't noticed, assholes, okay, your bullshit comments in the chat room have been deleted. Yeah, that part. So keep trying. Goodbye. Please hold, y'all. I'm simply working on posting this link to X because the first one didn't post. So please hold. Please hold. Yeah, we don't need you guys for views. Hi. So go fuck yourself. Anyway, let us post this to X here. Post right there. Be dystopic. Platform. No. Damn it, hold on. I wanna fucking start over. Please. Okay. Let me go view this, make sure it's correct real quick. Send. Let me do this. Pan it. Okay. Very well then. Okay, let's turn it down so we can. Thank you guys for the 4 likes. Appreciate it. Okay. So you motherfuckers that thought I was afraid to go live, fuck yourself, okay? Fuck you, fuck me. Now, I believe we've reached the promised land, y'all, on this stream. Just this audio. It's coming in clear? Oh no. It's gotta be coming in clear. Jeez. Mm, Okay. Okay. So you guys, thank you for tuning in. Okay. It's been a blast. We made our point. And to all of you loser motherfuckers with bullshit YouTube channels who thought you were gonna lie with this bullshit and become superstars, fuck you. Go fuck yourself. Okay. Hunty. I don't give no fuck about you. You never get another dollar, bitch. Uh-uh. However, me and Jimmy still talk behind the scenes. So, yeah, there goes that, you motherfuckers. So you have a good, wonderful night, motherfuckers. Spirit. What the fuck is this? Jesus, Nima. I am here before you. The deeper purpose of the law. And the spirit. Anywho, you guys, wasn't that random? We're gonna get out of here now, you guys. Thank you for your time. Thank you for tuning in. Pray for Trump. Pray for America. Pray for Elon. Okay? All right. Peace.
Cannot resist it. You don't have the knowledge, you don't have the wisdom, you don't have the resources to understand that something's been put over on you. You cannot but help believe the definition of this is creation. But you believe yourself to be a creator as a result of not being. That is to say, of being hopelessly unable to resist
Never going to get any better. Don't look for it. Have to resist it. Because the owners of this country want that. I'm talking about the real owners. The real owners. Big, wealthy business. Control all the important decisions. But they're using the idea that you don't have no choice. You have owners. They own everything. They own all the lobbying to get what they want. Well, we know what they want. They want more for themselves. I'll tell you what they don't want.